Hi, it's Anathea, your evolutionary astrologer and divine feminine educator, and I want to give you the Venus vibes for September. Now, September there's so much to cover. I really need to give you more videos during the month of September because there's a lot happening. So I'm going to give you the Venus vibes, but also there's an eclipse. We're in eclipse season. And then there's also this body that's zooming through the solar system, Three-Eye Atlas. Not a lot of people know about this. That's a whole other thing. And then we also have the equinox. So there's a lot to talk about. And let me just start with the Venus vibes and we'll go from there. I have my chart over here. I like to look at the chart because I get intuitive hits with everything that I'm going to be sharing. But to start off, and again, I want to stress that when we start tuning into Venus, we get the blessings and the benefit of the energy or the gifts that she has to share with us. And with the gifts that she has to share with us are harmony, what all things Venusian, harmony, peace, love, abundance, money, ease in relationship and love, sensuality, just all the wonderful, juicy things that we want to have in life. So tuning into Venus is going to support you in that journey. And that's one of the motivations why I feel like, a lot of people follow the moon and other things that are happening. And I just like to focus on Venus, but she is complex. She's a morning star right now. I don't know the exact date. Sometime in November, she's going to disappear because she'll start meeting with the king of the solar system, the sun. And so she's going to disappear into the rays of his light. They'll have their union, and then she'll reappear as a evening star. So she's a morning star right now. She's going to disappear. I think it's around November, and then she'll reappear, and then she'll have her new conjunction. I don't know the exact date, but I believe it's sometime in January in Capricorn. So she has a whole beautiful dance. You can see here, this is the mandala that she creates. The sun's right there in the middle, and then between her and the earth having their little dance back around in the orbit around the sun, they create this beautiful fifth harmonic. And so I really believe that Venus has a lot to offer us if we really start tuning into her. And you should really know where your Venus is. Where is my Venus is in Libra, and Venus is what you value. And so I value relationships. I was just reading my book. I'm going to start reading my book to everybody. And the very first, the introduction is reclaiming yourself as sacred. So our relationships, and first and foremost, your relationship with you is sacred. And I believe that's what Venus helps support us to embody in many, many ways. Okay, so we are going to start with Venus. Venus last month was kind of like, it was beautiful. She had this kind of weird connection with all the outer planets, and all the outer planets are now connected right now. And so there's this push. We're being pushed to evolve. And Venus was kind of in a connection with them, but a little bit clunky, I'd say, maybe. And then she came into connection with, Venus in Cancer with Jupiter. And so this was a lot about home. I spent a lot of money trying to beautify my home and having fun doing it. Cancer is about nurturing home, family, feeling good, warm, fuzzy energy. And Venus is about love. So it was really nice to have that conjunction, right? And then at the end of the month, that was in the middle of the month. At the end of the month, there again, that push, again, reconnection with those outer planets. You see, the outer planets are all in like the 1 degree. They're at 1 degree right now. So anytime that Venus goes into a new sign, and every sign, every zodiac sign has 30 degrees. When it hits that new area, goes into a new sign, then it's communicating with these outer planets, these transpersonal planets, Neptune, Pluto, Uranus, which have an evolutionary push on us, okay? So this month, September, Venus starts out at 8 degrees of Leo and goes to 14 degrees Virgo. So it goes all the way through Leo and then goes halfway through Virgo for the month of September. So it's this Leo Virgo thing. And so when Venus is in Leo, she knows what she wants. She's passionate, she's on fire, she's on purpose. She's creative. Leo has this creative energy. Leo's about children, so and playfulness and creativity. So it's a lot of fun energy. And then she moves to Virgo, and Virgo's more serious and critical. But really, Virgo is, so Leo's a fire sign, then it goes to an earth sign. And Virgo is about service, about health, about, taking all of that creative juice from Leo and saying, how can I make it more functional in the world to be of service to humanity? So think about that for yourself. How can you take your creative energy and use that for the greater good of humanity? Okay? Because Virgo wants to make life more functional. Virgo wants to make life better. If we didn't have Virgo, we would still be in the caveman days, okay? So, and Virgo is also about health. So, how can you make your relationships healthier? How can you not let your creative juice and fire be stifled in relationship, but be able to express them, but bring it into the relationship and make it healthier, right? Because a lot of us get, can get stifled or feel that our partner isn't understanding us or we can't fully express ourselves in relationship. So that's the push. How can you express yourself and make your relationships more functional and healthy? Okay, that's a big theme, I would say. So let's start off September the 1st. Venus is at 8 degrees Leo, and it's in a semi-sextile with Virgo. Again, that Leo Virgo energy. And what a semi-sextile is just 30 degrees. So they're neighbors. They don't really understand each other. I mean, think about your neighbors, right? Your neighbors are people that you live right next door to, but maybe you didn't choose them as friends, and maybe you have a really good relationship with them, but maybe not. There's lots of stories about neighbors, right? So that's this energy. It's not like, they're exactly cooperative. They're just kind of saying, okay, let's try to figure each other out. And so that's kind of the energy that we start September off with. Leo, Venus in Leo, in communication with Sun in Virgo. Is it Virgo? Yes, it's Virgo. Okay. So Venus in Leo, the ruler of Leo is the sun. So there's this beautiful communication which empowers this. What I just talked about in the beginning is this Leo Virgo connection. So of your own creative, passionate expression and how you can make that express itself in a more healthy and functional way in your relationships. That includes, of course, always your relationship with yourself, right? So that's how we're starting the month off. Now, from about September 5th through the 12th, which includes the eclipse on the 7th, there is a mystical configuration which is called the Yod, Y-O-D, and it's also referred to as the finger of God. And it's a configuration like this. So there's a point here, and then there's 2 points here. And so there's 2 planets here, and they're pointing towards another. So there's an apex. And so the apex of this Yod is North Node in Pisces. So one is Venus in Leo, the other is Mars in Libra, and then the apex of this Yod, this mystical configuration, is North Node in Pisces. Now, this is going to be active, like I said, from September 5th till the 12th. And so what do I want to say about that? Venus in Leo. So it's moved, we're moving this Venus energy from that connection to the sun, now moving it to the connection with Mars, both of which are masculine energies, right? Venus in Leo is a feminine energy and a masculine sign, and then Mars in Libra is a masculine energy in a feminine sign. So there's a lot of this juicy, masculine, feminine, what's my purpose? How do I relate? What's my passion? Mars is the passion, Leo is the passion, Venus is the love, Libra is the harmony. And so there's this beautiful alchemy between this masculine and feminine on these yods, pointing to North Node in Pisces, which is in the North Node in Pisces. If you've taken my my node class, um, the nodes are the portal that we came in on. It's your soul's purpose. There's six of them and they're in polarity. That's a whole other subject, but it's the direction that your soul wants to go. And right now, collectively, it's the direction that our all of us want to go because the collectively where the node is the north node is in Pisces, south node in Virgo. And so, with this alchemy between this Venus and Mars and masculine and feminine and juicy energy, it's pointing towards North Node in Pisces. And what's North Node in Pisces? Love. It's really, it's Neptunian. It's the higher vibration of Venus. It's spirituality. It's understanding that we're all connected. Pisces has, of course, like any sign, has its positive and negative expressions. It can be chaos. It can be addictive behaviors. It can be out of control. But the reason being is because Pisces is super sensitive and really is naive, really thinks, oh, we're all connected and there's no worry, there's no hurry. And so Pisces can get itself in trouble because it doesn't have any boundaries, doesn't have any structure, right? And so this North Node in Pisces with Venus and Mars there is like looking at relationship again, looking at the play between the masculine and the feminine, the structure and purpose, and love and openness, sweetness and caring, and being taken advantage of. Setting yourself, expressing yourself and getting your needs met, but not getting, not being too pushy, but on the other end, not being too submissive. So there's this beautiful play, and this all happens September 5th through the 12th, that beautiful mystical finger of God pointing towards Pisces with that alchemy of the masculine and feminine, spiritualizing, alchemizing the play between the masculine and feminine, all the while during the eclipse. And so I'm going to move to the eclipse so I can just see it. So we have the eclipse on this certain axis, which is the nodal axis. That's where eclipses happen. And we've got the masculine and feminine kind of on either side straddling this axis and then also pointing towards that north node in Pisces. So it's really magnifying this energy and the eclipse is a full moon eclipse and it's at 15 degrees Pisces. The north node is at 18 degrees Pisces. It's a total lunar eclipse on September the 7th. But really, this is kind of like this magical alchemy of masculine and feminine energies, and spiritualizing them and letting, sometimes I think, oh my God, it's a joke putting the male body and the female body together, because we are like different species. But really understanding and getting to see that we really have within us, each individual person, a man and a woman, a masculine and feminine, and finding our commonalities and having more compassion. North Node in Pisces is a lot about compassion too. So this is a beautiful opportunity this month to heal the separation between the masculine and the feminine, whether that be with you and another or whether that be within yourself. So how that would be in yourself is being able to balance your ability to assert yourself, but not in an aggressive way, but in a compassionate way. Your ability to not just get stepped on and to be able to speak your truth in a loving way. So balancing your masculine and feminine energies within yourself. And that's actually mirrored in your relationships. Are you being taken advantage of? Are you the perpetrator? Are you the victim? Can you come into a more balanced harmony within your relationships with others? Okay. So that all happens, and then we move to the 16th. So the 16th is, I love to look at it. Again, a beautiful play between, and let's see, the eclipse was at, yeah, Mars and Libra. Okay. So this after the eclipse on September the 16th exact, Venus is still going to be in Leo at 26 degrees. Now it's gone all the way through, right, almost to the end of Leo, and Libra is going to be at 26 degrees. I mean, Mars is going to be in Libra at 26 degrees, and they will be in harmonic connection. And then there will be a connection, a harmonic connection to Chiron in Aries at 26 degrees. So this is exact on the 16th. So think of this as again that alchemy between the masculine and the feminine. But because Chiron in Aries is involved, Chiron is the wounded healer, Chiron is the crippled master, and it's in Aries. And so this is about when it's in Aries. Chiron in Aries is about your right to exist. See, Aries is all about, boom, here I am. But when it's in Chiron, it's like second guessing it. I don't have the right to exist. So it's self-esteem issues. And so we've got the masculine and the feminine, and the feminine in a masculine sign, and the masculine in a feminine sign. And then in communication with this Chiron, this wounded energy of, I don't have the right to exist. And so it's balancing again, this beautiful masculine and feminine energy and overcoming your right to exist. Not being enough. This is our society says we're not pretty enough, we're not rich enough, we're not smart enough, we're not skinny enough, all of that, not enough. That's this Chiron in Aries. I do not have the right to exist because I'm not enough. You are plenty. And so this is a beautiful, September 16th is a beautiful day for you to step into this balanced energy of who you are and claiming your right to exist. So pay attention to September the 16th. That's very powerful. And then on September the 19th, Venus enters Virgo at 0 degrees Virgo. So she leaves that energy, that fiery energy of Leo, of purpose and creativity and passion and playfulness, and enters Virgo, where she wants to take all that passion, just like I was talking in the beginning, all that passion and put it into functionality. How can my creative expression be of service to humanity? And so she'll continue her journey for the rest of September through in Virgo until halfway through, 14 degrees, halfway through Virgo. September 19th through the 21st, she is going to be, which the 21st is the second eclipse, and that's the eclipse at, oh my God, I don't have it written down, at 29 degrees Virgo. And remember, these eclipses are powerful. If you were born in 1960 or 1969, and any 9 year increment after or before, these eclipses, you're in a nodal return or a reverse nodal return. So these eclipses can be profound and powerful. Also, if you have any degrees in your chart, any planets at 29 degrees or 18 degrees, these eclipse times can be very profound and powerful for you. Are they? Do you know? This is really important information if you want to start living your astrology. And that's what I'm going to be starting a class next week, and I'll be continuing to do this, is teaching the foundations of astrology and learning how to live your astrology chart. So, where are your planets? What do you have any planets at 15 or 18 or 19 degrees? And especially if they're in Pisces or Virgo, but they don't have to be. They can be making an aspect in another zodiac sign as well. And eclipses can be life-changing events, both positive and negative, but you set your intention for positive. Don't be fearful of eclipses. Know that you are always, always divinely protected. And you have to be courageous to be a human, to be in this human experience as well. So you have to be up for the challenge. Okay, so September the 19th through the 21st, Venus. So I'm like, okay, the eclipse is coming on the 21st. It's going to be at 29 degrees. It's a new moon, this one is. It's going to be at 29 degrees Virgo. And I'm thinking, well, what is, and I'll go to it. Let's see, I can just go right to it, which is beautiful. Yeah, and so I'm like, well, what is Venus going to be doing? And Venus again is going to be straddling the south node, the Virgo part of the eclipse, and Mars between that 29 degree Virgo. And this is a full moon eclipse. I always get it all mixed up, but it is a full moon eclipse. Oh, yeah, and this one's a new moon eclipse. Yeah, God. So it's a new moon eclipse in Virgo, 29 degrees. And what's Venus doing with it? She's in communication. She is actually aspecting again all of these outer planets, Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus, because she's in the beginning degree of Virgo. Remember, I said she just left Leo and went into Virgo. Right now, anytime that she's going into a new sign, that she's going to be aspecting these outer planets, and these outer planets have an evolutionary intention, right? To really push us to evolve, to awaken, to enlighten ourselves, to expand our consciousness. And so she's going to be at that beginning degree. Pluto's at 1 degree. Neptune's at 0 degree. Uranus is at 1 degree. She's at 2 degrees. And so these are all at the very, very beginning degrees, and they're communicating. And so she's really asking you to evolve. Well, how can you become more conscious in your relationships? So that's happening September 19th through the 21st. She stays in Virgo, and then she ends September on the south node of Virgo. So her message is ultimately, I believe, she has this big dance between the masculine and feminine, Leo and Virgo. You know, Leo's self-expression, creativity, purpose. Virgo is how to make it more functional, more healthy. And then she ends with herself at the south node of Virgo saying, I'm going to rest in this idea. We are committed. We are committed. And this is south node, so this is past life stuff. We are committed to letting go of all of our past life programming and make relationships more functional. Okay, so that's my message for Venus. Now, we have this whole other thing, three-eye atlas. Have you heard about it? We also have the equinox on the 21st. That is when the days, it's going to be at 0 degrees Libra. It's the shifting of the seasons. It's the days, equal day, equal night. And then the days will start getting shorter. Kind of hate when that starts happening. We're going to be going into fall and then winter. I've had such a wonderful summer. I hope you have too. But I'm going to put a link below about the three-eye atlas, and I'm probably going to do a separate video on the three-eye atlas because I'm really fascinated with it, and I think this is a beautiful opportunity. It's a interstellar object that is zooming through the solar system. They just found it on July 1st. It's going to go whiz by Mars and by Venus, I think. They don't mention that so far, but that basically Mars and Venus, it's going to whiz by that. It's going to go along the sun. The Earth is going to be over here, and then it's going to exit through Jupiter. But this is an interstellar, meaning coming from outside of our solar system. And I believe, just like a calm lake where a very fast boat is zooming through, it's going to leave a wake. And I believe it's going to leave a wake of higher consciousness. So if you've been feeling tired lately, know that it's really this either photonic or plasmic energy. I'm not a scientist. I don't know. I'm just hopeful that this is really an energy that is going to awaken us and bring us to higher states of compassion and love, but not without pain. You have to do your part. You have to be willing to take time to sit with the discomfort. Or I was talking to a person the other day, you have to be willing to sit with the pain of existence because sometimes life can be painful and we run from it with overeating, over drinking, over sexing, overworking, over shopping, over scrolling, all the different ways that we can numb out. And right now, like I said in the beginning, we are living in transformational times. You are being asked to feel. You are being asked to become more alive in your body. And I want to support you in that journey. So, more to say, more to share. Please like, subscribe, share this video. I hope you found it inspirational. tune in to Venus. If you get up early, see her in the morning in the eastern hemisphere, in the eastern sky. She's going to be disappearing, I think, around November. She'll come back as no, I mean, she's a morning star. She'll be disappearing in November, and then she'll be an evening star. So follow her. She has lots of gifts to give you. I hope you enjoyed this. Please share it. Take care. Comment. Bye.